Okay, so let's talk about the colours. So why are the colours so important? I thought the colours were important because it just made kids want to eat veggies because it's colourful. So.
Well, hopefully it does do that. But the real reason is because there's red vegetables, there's orange vegetables. I don't really need to name them because everyone knows, what colours are what vegetables.
Yeah,
there's green and there's white as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's, there's yellow and all sort of other.
So what do the colours represent?
Different. A carrot is so orange because beta carotene is the main vitamin that's in there. So that's the main nutrient that the carrot provides you with. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's so orange and that's why if you do eat too many carrots, your skin eventually turns orange because you have too much of that thing, and too much of anything is not good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's why it needs to be balanced. And then you've got greens, which are really high in things like chlorophyll, and so that's a really good alkaline for your body to deacidify things. So, and regardless of exercise or weight training, at the end of the day, you've got organs and you've got other different processes going on in your body that those jobs need to be done every day. It's like cleaning the house. It's like they have to be done.
Yeah, and this goes back to being able to get fit without compromising your health.
Exactly, to make sure you minimise the chance of you getting sick.
Yeah. Yeah,
so by not excluding anything, then you're maximising your chance of getting as fit as possible in the healthiest way.
And the easiest way, I guess, to start doing something like that is just to mix up your sources of carbs or protein and of good fats. Like if you just keep mixing it up all the time, instead of relying on rice for every meal as your source of carbs, then you're going to be pretty safe. So if you have rice for one meal as your carbs, and then sweet potato for another, broccoli for another, and then
or like even just like a spinach fettuccine or something to make it a bit more exciting, or like brown pasta or quinoa is a really good carbohydrate and even protein source. So and that just goes back to what I was saying before about really taking the time to educate yourself so you know what those good sources are. And then you can just go crazy and just make great meals and things like that.
Yeah, sure, but you could also kind of cheat in a way because, like going back to what I was saying at the beginning, I'm pretty slack when it comes to really knowing this food stuff. But if I had this understanding that, if I just mix up the colours, then I'm going to be okay. So I could, in effect, actually do that, couldn't I? Like I could go to the grocery store and be like, look in my basket, I've got too much green stuff. I've got to get some red stuff in there. So then I grab some capsicum and I'm like, I need some green, I need some orange stuff. So then I'm chucking a sweet potato or carrots and stuff. So if I just go by the, fundamental understanding that if I have a variety of colours with my carbs, then I'm okay. And if I have a variety of different protein sources, then I'm essentially okay there as well.
Definitely. To start off with, that's a great way to educate yourself, and it's a really good mindset to get into.
Yep, keep it easy, guys. It's the only way it's going to work. Alright, let's talk about amounts of food that you have throughout the day, because there's something that I've learned throughout my years of trying to be fit, is that ideally what you want to do is you want to break up your meals throughout the day, so it's not just 3 big meals or 2 big meals, it's actually 5 or 6 meals. So what's the reasoning behind that? Like, why would you want to do something like that? Because people don't have the time, which is why they have breakfast, lunch and dinner. Like people who work in office jobs or whatever, they don't get all those breaks to be able to eat that often. So I guess from a health and nutrition point of view, like why would you want to break up your meals that often?
Okay, one of the main reasons why we teach people to practice eating that way is because it generally is a really effective way to avoid weight gain. So especially if you actually do have you work in a retail environment, a hospitality, and you're running around all the time and stuff, and you don't get the time to eat, more than likely, not always, but more than likely, the next meal that you have, are available to eat is going to be much, much more than you may actually need, because you are so hungry and so mentally drained from working and not having a chance to eat properly. Also, when people haven't eaten for a long time and they do get hungry, they don't make the best choices. So if you're able to just take an extra 15 to 20 minutes a day and plan your meals properly and space it out as evenly as possible, you're going to be in a much better mind frame. It's going to avoid weight gain. And also people that don't eat that much and get to the end of the day and are so tired they don't actually eat properly. A lot of people tend to lose weight, which in certain circumstances is really unhealthy as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about from weight gain point of view? Like, would I still need to keep my 5-6 meals a day? Because I'm trying to bulk up.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a good practice just to get into so you don't, overeat in any sort of aspect. But in your case, Cody, you're needing more protein on top of what your basis of what you need.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why at every meal you want to have protein. And if you're missing it, then potentially you're probably not getting to the target amount of protein that we can, talk later about that you actually need. So there's just a higher chance that you might not reach what you need to get to at the end of the day. So if you space it out and having a bit everywhere, you don't have to stress out at the end of the day and think, God, now I've got to have a massive plate of meat, or I've got to have like a gallon of milk or something.
What are calories? Is it important to count them if you're trying to gain weight, if you're trying to lose weight? And, overall, why are they important?
Okay. Basically, Cody, it's either calories and kilojoules are both a measure of energy. And energy is determined by everything that's in the food. So all the nutrients, all the fat, the carbohydrate, the protein, it's all added up in its scientific little method, and then that's the amount of energy in that serve of food. So one muffin would have a value of energy based on everything that's in it.
Right, and 1 calorie is measured by how long it takes to boil of water or something? Is that how it's calculated?
Yeah, I'm actually not. I should have revised that a little bit, but it's the amount of energy used to burn to boil a certain amount of water or burn a certain amount of fat.
Okay, right, and that's what it all boils down to.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So going on with the calories.
Yeah.
The
easiest way to count them, you can go ahead and you can. You could see a dietitian, and they could teach you how to read food labels, how to count calories and kilojoules, and how much you need as an individual every day. You can do that, which is very worthwhile and it's quite interesting. But the easiest way is to understand your portions. So if you really make the effort to educate yourself properly about portion sizes and how much of each food group to have, then generally speaking, you'll be getting enough energy to do what you need to do in the day, and you won't be putting on or losing weight. And then we go into the fact that once you're doing that, and then we say, well, Cody's wanting to build lean muscle, so then we need to add more protein because he's doing more weight training. We need to add a little bit more carbohydrates, so his muscles have the energy to do what they need to do. Yeah. So an easy way to count calories is to understand your portions. And it is a very good tool to understand how much protein is in, like, dairy and meat, how much carbohydrate and energy is actually in rice and vegetables and all sorts of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense to me.
Great.
Does it make perfect sense to you?